Welcome to Primetime Perspectives. I'm your host, Jesse Rodriguez Jr. What is the UF? When did it start? It started on the first day of 2024, January 1st, because of a merger between the USFL and the XFL. And who owns it? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. New rules and changes for the season. Well, 4-point field goal from 60 plus yards out, and then the tush push is banned. And also, when you catch the ball, you can have at least 1 foot in to catch it. Now let's get to the games. Let's open up with the first game. The Louisville Kings and the Birmingham Stallions. The Stallions got on the board first, missed the extra point, 6-0, and then Louisville answered back with a touchdown. They made the extra point, 7-6, and then the Stallions answered with a field goal, 9-7, and then the Kings got a field goal, 10-9, and then the Kings got another field goal, 13-9, and then the Stallions got a touchdown. They missed the extra point, and that brought us to our final score of 15-13, and the Stallions outgained the Kings 319 to 266. Now let's move on to the Defenders and the St. Louis Battlehawks. DC added in a field goal from 60 yards out, which is 4 points, as I mentioned, 4-0. And then the Battlehawks answered back with a touchdown to make it, or a field goal, 4-3. And then the Defenders got a touchdown, 10-3, missed the 2-point attempt, and then the Battlehawks got a field goal, 10-6, and then they got a touchdown. They made the extra point to make it 13-10, and they got one more field goal in before the final, 16-10. And then the Dallas Renegades defeated the Houston Gamblers by 19, 36-17. The Renegades got a pick six. 13 made the pick 6-0. Missed the 2-point try, and then the Gamblers got a field goal to cut the lead down to 6-3. And then the Renegades got on the board with a touchdown, 13-3. And then the Renegades got another touchdown, 20-3. Then they got another field goal, 23-3. And then they got another touchdown, 30-3. And then the Gamblers tried to cut into the lead, made it 30-11 at that point. And then this one was all Renegades, 36-17. And then the final game of the Week 1 slate, it was the Orlando Storm defeating the Columbus Aviators, 23-16. As this was a all-around close game by two teams, as the Aviators fumbled the kickoff and the Storm turned it into some points, 6-0, missed 2-point attempt, and then 2 field goals tied it up, and then a field goal, 9-6, and then the Storm would get 2 touchdowns, extending the lead to a 17-point hole that the Aviators had to get through. But they did, with a field goal and a touchdown, but sadly, it was not enough to get the W. As if you look at our next games, Friday, April 3rd, will be DC Defenders and Columbus Aviators, and then the Louisville Kings facing off against the Orlando Storm on Saturday, April the 4th. And then the Birmingham Stallions face off against the Houston Gamblers on Sunday, April 5th. And then Tuesday, April 7th, Battlehawks visiting the Renegades. So that's going to be an interesting one. And that'll do it. Thank you for watching Primetime Perspectives, and we'll see you next time. Like and subscribe.